What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Color Nation Media, and welcome back for another live Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle against a subscriber/follower on Twitter. Today we are going up against Khan in an NU battle, and I think I just battled this person very recently. It may have even been the last battle before I went and ran away for a week and a half, but nonetheless, if that's the case, we're having a rematch here, possibly in the same tier, or was I doing PU? I don't even remember. I think it was PU because it was a Sun team. But anyway, I should probably go over what team we are running today, of course. So we have our Persian here, which is going to be Fake Out, Return, Technician, you know, Silk Scarf shenanigans, basically the standard Persian, but it's so much fun to use. I haven't used it recently, and I'm pretty excited about bringing it back. Then we have Gardenia, the Lilligant, which the last time I ran this, it was a Choice Scarf set with Leaf Storm and Healing Wish and all that stuff. This time it is a Quiver Dance set with Giga Drain and Hidden Power Rock, as well as Sleep Powder with a Life Orb. Then we have Choice Banded Sock, which just kills everything, basically. Angela is making her return as well. She has mixed defenses. She's packing the leftovers. She's got Heal Bell so that we can clear status conditions from the team. That slow Volt Switch is very handy. Scald for burns, and Protect to be able to scout and get some leftovers recovery and all that fun stuff. Then we have Childra, the Avalugg, which has been all over the place on the channel recently. She's been putting in a lot of work on the Inverse series, or in the Inverse series, I should say. But, yeah, she's basically rocking the same exact set. She's got Avalanche and Earthquake, Recover, and Rapid Spin, and she's packing the Rocky Helmets to be able to deal some extra damage to those physical attackers. And then last but not least, we have Drifblim, which is going to be a Calm Mind set. It is Resto Chesto with Unburden. Shadow Ball and Thunderbolt are its attacking moves. This team that my opponent has is ridiculous. He's got a bunch of NFEs, Spinda, a Vespiquen. My team looks super try-hard next to his. I feel like I'm about to just get owned right now. That Natu is pretty scary too. He's probably going to lead off with the Bronzor, if I had to guess, to set up some screens or maybe get up some Stealth Rocks or something like that. And he is indeed going to lead off with the Bronzor, a shiny Bronzor. It's very green. But I have my Sock out here, and I'm not really afraid of this thing. He could potentially break my Sturdy with like a Gyro Ball or something, but I'm not expecting him to want to do that turn one. And regardless, my opponent's team is very weak to knockoff spam, so that's exactly what I'm going to go for. And this is going to do a lot because I am banded. So that brings him all the way down into the red zone and gets rid of his Eviolite as he does set up a Reflect, but that's not going to save him from a KO, and if that's all he gets, I am fine with that, even if he is carrying the Light Clay, which he's not because I just knocked off his Eviolite. I don't know why I said that. I tried to derp like the few Battle Spot episodes ago when I said that Sheer Force for Alligator was going to get a burn with Scald. And then everybody in the comment section and their mothers were all saying, you can't get burns with Scald when you have Sheer Force. And I was like, crap, I'm stupid. Bee Hugger is coming out next. Ooh, shiny Vespiquen. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I think this is the first time I've seen shiny Vespiquen. That's pretty cool. Now, I have no idea what this is going to be running. The Vespiquen that I usually use is defensive. That means absolutely nothing, though. What does Vespiquen get? Like, attack order, heal order? What else? What else does this thing get? I have no idea. Attack order is physical, but it could also have Bug Buzz, I suppose. Toxic, maybe? I really don't know. I really don't know what to expect, but I do not want to leave my Sock out here. I want to preserve the Sturdy because my opponent doesn't have any hazards. So I'm going to go out into Angla as the Vespiquen does show off the attack order, so it's a physical variant. That does a decent chunk. I wonder if that's offensive, or if it's like a tank type of set. I don't know what else to expect. I don't think it gets any type of decent flying type stab, to be honest. Anyway, we're going to Volt Switch out here, and he's going to go into his Growing Pain, the Duosion, and by Volt Switch out, I mean Protect. I thought I Volt Switched out, but apparently I clicked Protect. Alright. Alrighty. Fair enough. I mean, I guess I could have gone for Protect there just to get some leftovers recovery and see what the Vespiquen wanted to do, because I was pretty curious what it had for me. But that's fine too. I can probably just Volt Switch out this turn. And I actually clicked Volt Switch this turn, so that's cool. Because misclicking is bad. I've been misclicking more and more lately, and I don't like it. And that's weird because I don't normally rush into my moves. I normally talk about it for way too long, and then sometimes I still click the wrong thing. It's probably going to happen again in this battle. It's probably going to happen in the next battle too. And the battle after that. And the battle after that. Alright, so what am I going to use to deal with this thing? If it's Calm Mind, it could be potentially very dangerous. I don't think it would have too much to hit Drifblim with. And I can potentially scare him out with a Shadow Ball. He probably has Recover though. So we need to keep that in mind. Knocking off his Eviolite would be great, but I'm definitely going to have to sacrifice my Sturdy on Salk to do that. What is he going to go for this turn, though? That's the key. I need to find out what this thing is doing. He may set up, like, Trick Room or something, too. That could potentially be very, very scary. Because his team is relatively slow. He's got, like, Natu. He had the Bronzor. And he's got some other slow things like Vespiquen. He is going to set up the Trick Room, actually, as I go out into my trusty Persian, which is very uncreatively nicknamed Geo. At least it's not Giovanni, but it's the shortened version. So, yeah, I'm basically that guy. So he's actually going to pull a switch here into his Smoky Drunk, the Spinda, as I go for the Fake Out. That does a lot of damage. Wow. I can definitely kill him with a return, but he's going to outspeed me because Trick Room is still up. So this thing is most likely going to go for the Superpower because that's really the only way you can use Spinda effectively, or viably I should say, is Contrary Superpower. Pretty hard to get your hands on as far as Wi-Fi is concerned, but I'm going to go into Drifblim here, and he does in fact go for the Superpower, and that does not work. He does get Sucker Punch, and he might try to go for that here, so I'm tempted to just try to set up a Calm Mind. Although he's not going to kill me with a Sucker Punch, even if I do attack him. I'm not sure if he would predict me to do that, though. I mean, I'm definitely not going for Shadow Ball, so I'd have to go for Thunderbolt, and I don't think that would kill without a boost, because I'm not carrying, like, Life Orb or anything. I am indeed Arresto Chesto with Unburden. That Lickitung still proves to be a problem for me, though. As long as that Lickitung is relatively healthy, Drifblim is not sweeping anything anytime soon. Because, you know, I'd have to just hit it with Thunderbolt, and that's not going to be enough because Lickitung is a fat sack of potatoes. So, I need to find something else. I think I still want to set up a Calm Mind here, though. If he does decide to switch in the Lickitung afterwards, that's fine. At least I can get some damage off on it and potentially scout its set to see what we're... cannot talk. To see what we are dealing with. Anyway, he is going to go for the Sucker Punch there as I Calm Mind up, and now I can fire off a T-Bolt that will kill this thing most likely if he opts to stay in and try to Sucker Punch me, and then I can rest after that. If he switches out, it's most likely going to be to that Lickitung. There's not really much I can do about it. Yep, feed me, that's definitely a Lickitung. Shiny, does he have shiny everything? It's like everything on his team is shiny. Yeah, we're going to fire off a Thunderbolt, and that does not do very much at all, but we have successfully stalled out the Trick Room, which is nice. So it comes down to, how am I going to deal with this Lickitung? This is probably the most problematic thing on his team, to be honest. And there is some severe thunder going on outside. I don't know if you guys could hear that. In one of the last videos I recorded, it was pouring, and it sounded like somebody was shooting my window with rocks, like rock pellets or something, but people were saying that it didn't really show up in the audio. So I don't know what you guys can hear and what you can't hear, but more storms are going on here in Texas. Like, half the state is basically underwater. Some bad stuff happening. Bad stuff. People have been, like, evacuated even in my town that I live in. But that's besides the point. I'm going to go into Avalugg, and he's just going to go for the knockoff as expected. So he's going to get rid of my Rocky Helmet, but he's going to have to take some chip damage here. And that's a worthy trade-off, I think. And I can just go for... Avalanche or Earthquake? Does it really matter? I mean, if I go for Earthquake, he could switch in like Natu or something. I don't think he's going to want to do that, but I'm just going to go for the Avalanche. He's most likely going to switch either way, and he does switch into the Growing Pain, which is the Duosion. I probably should have predicted that. It's basically a free switch. Avalugg can't scratch this thing, and he's just going to be able to get up Trick Room again. So that was kind of a poor play on my part. Should have guessed that he was going to do that. Now what I could do is go into Sawk here. Now that would be a bit risky because if he goes for a Stab Psychic or Psyshock, I'm going to lose my Sturdy. And I don't think that Banded Knockoff will kill. It'll probably come close because I am Adamant, but it probably won't kill. Weakening this thing though and getting it to where him recovering it really isn't going to matter. He's still going to die. That might be worth getting rid of the Sturdy though. I'm going to make that play. It's a bit risky, but I'm just going to predict him to go for a Trick Room here. And I can burn a couple of turns too by doing this. So we're going to go into Sawk, and he does in fact throw up the Trick Room, so he is going to outspeed us the following turn and most likely hit us with some type of super effective stab move. And I'm fine with that because we're going to get rid of this thing's Eviolite and do a lot of damage to it. So he's going to hit us with a Psychic. Sawk does not like that. Poor Stu. But he's going to crit us too, and that's meaningless because we're going to endure the hit thanks to our Sturdy. And here comes the knockoff. Oh, I thought for a second that was actually going to take him out, but he does barely survive. And now we're going to have to switch because we can definitely save this. He has no hazards, so Sawk will be able to come back in and get another hit off on something. The question is, what do I have that wants to take a Psychic? Not much other than Lantern. And if he decides to recover here, I can Volt Switch the following turn. And, you know, having his Eviolite gone is great. But he decides to just go for the Psychic because he just does. A knockoff probably would have killed him if he did recover there because he did not have his Eviolite anymore. Would have been close. But that didn't do too much damage because Angela is a beast. She takes hits left and right. It's just stupid how much abuse this Lantern can take from really both sides of the attacking spectrum. So we have some options here. I could protect if I wanted to, but I'm expecting him to want to recover, and that is what he does here. So we're going to Volt Switch out and get some more damage going on this thing. So I don't want him to recover for free, basically. And we do end up getting a critical hit, actually, and that is going to allow me to finish this off with my Persian. I could just come right in, go for the fake out. There's nothing he can do about it. If he wants to switch, that's fine. But he's still going to have to take that fake out damage. And I don't know if he's going to want to save this because pretty much everything on my team outspeeds it. As far as I know, Duosion is like stupidly slow. So I don't think you're going to get another opportunity here to set up another Trick Room or recover. Not at that range of HP, and especially not because you don't have Eviolite, so recovering really would not help you too much anyway. Pretty much anything that I would have out on this thing, it would not be switching out for the most part. So I'm relatively safe here. I'm just going to go for the fake out, and he does opt to just leave it in. I think that was his best play. You really did not want to risk switching something else in to take unnecessary damage, especially if I decided to be a little bit cheeky and went for a return instead of a fake out, which I would never do because that was, you know, way too risky. Although I make really silly plays that are way too risky all the time, so I don't know what I'm trying to say. So we're just going to move on. Smokey Drunk is out here again. Not to be confused with Smokey the Bear, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Now, this thing is physical, so I could switch out Avalugg, but I don't really want to get hit with a superpower. But I can easily take a Sucker Punch and just kill this thing with a return, because all that damage that it has right now was just from a fake out. It did not take that well at all, so I'm just going to kill it. He's going to stay in, go for the Sucker Punch. Even if he got a critical hit there, that was not going to result in a KO of Persian. And he shows off the Life Orb, and that's just going to further help me take him out with a return. So that's cool. Spinda gone. So he's got 3 Pokemon left. He's got Lickitung and Natu, and he has one other thing, doesn't he? Or am I just derping on that? Yeah, he does have 3 Pokemon left. I don't know what that last Pokemon is because it's escaping me at the moment, but I will probably remember at some point. So this thing is kind of problematic. If I can get my Sawk out safely on it, I can just close combat it and it'll be dead. The only downside is that Natu could potentially switch in on that. So I'm probably going to want to U-turn here. I click Taunt. I click Taunt on a Lickitung that has Oblivious. There's the misclick I was talking about. I knew it was going to happen. Why do I do this? So he just Dragon Tails me. It's better than going for Body Slam, I guess. And out comes Drifblim, which could potentially take this battle for us. But we have to get rid of this Lickitung, though. That's the thing. Yeah, because I could definitely take down the Natu, but I can't kill this. And if I start setting up Calm Minds, he's just going to Dragon Tail me. So I'm going to go back into Persian. We can just sack it at this point. I really don't need it for anything. It's not going to help us anymore. So, yeah, we'll see if he just goes for Body Slam or something. He's actually going to go for the knockoff. There was no reason for him to go for Body Slam with Drifblim out. I don't know what I was talking about. But he gets rid of our Silk Scarf, and that means that we probably will not be able to kill him with a combination of Fake Out and Return, but we can get off as much damage as possible before it takes us out. And, I mean, I guess I could U-turn too, I suppose. My goodness, Lickitung takes those hits so well. It's ridiculous. Wonder if that's physically defensive. I have no idea. Should I go for a Return? Should I really sacrifice this Persian? That is the question. I mean, he's got 3 Pokemon left. I don't think I'm going to need this Persian for anything. So I feel relatively safe just going for a Return, getting some damage off on this. Thankfully, I did not click Taunt this time. And we get that extra chip damage as he's going to show off a Return of his own. So he's got Dragon Tail, Return, and... Wait a minute. Did he show off Body Slam before? I thought he did. No, I must be thinking of something else. You know what? I think I was thinking of a Miltank that I saw in the Showdown recording that I did right before this. So, don't mind me confusing Lickitung with Miltank. They don't even look remotely similar, especially when this one is shiny. Yeah, okay. I'm all over the place, that is for sure. That is for sure. So what do I want to do to this thing? I could go out into Sawk and just click Knockoff here, because that just kills everything. And I think that's probably my best course of action, most likely. I could click Ice Punch too, in case he wants to go out into I don't know what. I don't really think it's much of a decision here. I'm just going to click Knock Off. This should die, and it does, so Lickitung is out of the way. That means that our Drifblim should be safe to finish off the match after our Sawk goes down here, which I'm assuming it will in the next turn. Bee-Hugger, that was it. The Vespiquen, I forgot about you. I am not OHKOing you, that is for sure. But I can remove your, what I'm assuming would be Leftovers. I'm guessing. I mean, I haven't really confirmed that this thing is defensive either. But yeah, he is carrying the Leftovers. He actually has Pursuit. Pursuit Vespiquen with Attack Order. I think this is offensive. It just happened to be carrying Leftovers because, you know, it's a bulkier variant, I guess. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool indeed. He had nothing to lose by going for Pursuit there, because if I switched, then Sawk would be dead, obviously. I just did not want to save it. I'd rather get rid of its item. No reason to waste turns and, you know, let this thing do whatever it was that it wanted to do. So now with Lickitung gone, I can definitely go in with Drifblim and just click Calm Mind at this point. After one boost, that should be enough, although he is going to go for the heal order here and get back up to just about max HP. And I'm not going to be able to take you out in one hit with a Thunderbolt, but it should be a 2-hit KO. I mean, it better be a 2-hit KO. At +1. Yeah, it is. Cool. U-turn. Okay, that's pretty cool. U-turn, attack order, heal order, and then, what was that last move? He already showed it. Pursuit. That's what it was. I was thinking like Aerial Ace or something, but he definitely didn't go for Aerial Ace. So he's going to come out into Baby Sino, which is hilarious because all of my Xatu are nicknamed Sino, so that's a pretty awesome nickname. Gotta say, shoutouts to Khan for that. But we're just going to hit it up with a Shadow Ball to the face, and yeah, Baby Sino is going to bite the dust there, and Vespiquen is going to come out and die to another Thunderbolt. So that is pretty much going to wrap up the battle here, barring something crazy. Actually, I don't even think anything crazy could happen. I mean, the only thing I could think of would be like Quick Claw, but we already knocked off this thing's item, so that's pretty much going to be it. Down goes the shiny Vespiquen, and that is going to be the battle. So I want to thank you very much for sticking around, for watching. Thank you for the battle, Khan. As always, if you guys see him down in the comment section, make sure to give him a GG for me, as we always like to do. And I'm going to use this team 2 more times, so we'll get to see it in action a little bit more. Trying to think. Anybody I want to specifically see do anything? Not really. Not really. I just want to see everybody do stuff. Let's just have a good time, basically. So if you guys enjoyed, please make sure you're leaving a like, rating, or comment, or whatever you would like to do. And I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.